In the shadow of ancient mountains and across vast plateaus shaped by wind and time lies Iran, a land where empires rose and fell like desert sands, yet civilization endured. For more than 5,000 years, this crossroads of the ancient world has been a cradle of power, faith, art, and resistance. From the birth of the Persian Empire under Cyrus the Great, when ideas of kingship, law, and tolerance reshaped the known world, to centuries of conquest by Greeks, Arabs, Turks, and Mongols, Iran's story is one of continual transformation rather than erasure. Dynasties collapsed, religions shifted, and borders changed, but a distinct Iranian identity persisted, adapting and reasserting itself time and again. This is the story of Iran in full, a sweeping chronicle of imperial glory and catastrophic invasion, cultural brilliance and spiritual revolution, decline and revival, culminating in the rise of a modern Islamic theocracy that still carries the echoes of its ancient past. Ancient Dawn, 4395 BC to 55 BC. Picture the cradle of civilization taking shape on the Iranian plateau. By as early as 4395 BC, the city of Susa rises from the fertile lowlands of southwestern Iran, becoming one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities on Earth. As the beating heart of the Elamite kingdom, Susa stands not as a peripheral settlement, but as a major center of power, administration, and culture. By around 3200 BC, Elam flourishes alongside its great neighbor Mesopotamia, bound to it by trade, rivalry, and shared innovation. Elamite merchants exchange precious lapis lazuli from distant eastern lands, while artisans carve intricate cylinder seals, small objects that speak volumes of early bureaucracy, record-keeping, and the birth of organized statecraft. Around 2000 BC, new peoples arrive from the Eurasian steppes. Aryan tribes, early Indo-Iranians, migrate into the region, bringing with them new languages, social structures, and spiritual traditions. Rather than erasing what came before, they blend with the ancient cultures of the land, reshaping Iran's ethnic and cultural foundations. Over centuries, these groups settle, divide, and consolidate, giving rise to powerful kingdoms. By 625 BC, the Median king Cyaxares succeeds where others failed, uniting the Medes into a formidable force. In alliance with Babylon, he brings down the once invincible Assyrian Empire in 612 BC, ending centuries of Assyrian dominance and laying the foundations for Iran's first unified throne, an achievement that would soon give rise to one of the greatest empires the world had ever known. Achaemenid glory, 550 to 330 BC. In 550 BC, a single figure ignites a transformation that will redefine the ancient world. Cyrus II, remembered as Cyrus the Great, overthrows the Median king and forges the Achaemenid Empire, uniting Iranian tribes under a vision of rule unlike any before it. Within a generation, his conquests ripple outward with astonishing speed. By 539 BC, Babylon falls not in flames, but with calculated restraint, and the empire stretches from the Indus Valley to the eastern shores of the Mediterranean, the largest empire the world had yet known. Cyrus rules not merely by force, but by policy. His legacy is etched into clay in the Cyrus Cylinder, a declaration of religious tolerance and humane governance that allows displaced peoples, including the Jews exiled in Babylon, to return home and rebuild their temples. Under his successors, the empire becomes a model of imperial administration. Darius I, the great organizer, transforms conquest into permanence. he orders the construction of Persepolis, a ceremonial capital carved from stone, where delegations from dozens of subject nations bring tribute beneath towering reliefs of imperial unity. Darius divides the empire into satrapies, standardizes laws, weights, and measurements, and introduces gold derricks to stabilize trade across continents. A vast network of royal roads spanning nearly 2,500 kilometers binds the empire together, enabling messages to travel faster than any rival civilization could match. Yet, even empires of such scale are not eternal. In 331 BC, at the Battle of Gaugamela, Alexander of Macedon shatters Achaemenid military power. Persepolis is burned, whether in vengeance, symbolism, or drunken excess, and the political structure of the empire collapses. But Persia is not erased. Its systems of governance, taxation, and bureaucracy endure, absorbed into Alexander's realm and passed on to future empires. Though the Achaemenids fall in 330 BC, their vision of rule, cosmopolitan, administrative, and imperial, continues to shape the ancient world long after the flames die out. Parthians revolt against Seleucid Greeks in 247 BC, mastering horse archers to humiliate Rome at Carrhae in 53 BC, where 10,000 Romans perish. Their decentralized realm thrives on Silk Road trade. Sasanians seize power in 224 AD under Ardashir I, crowning Zoroastrianism as state faith. Shapur I captures Emperor Valerian in 260 AD, using him as a footstool. Khosrow I, 531 through 579 AD, builds academies like Gundashapur, blending Greek, Indian, and Persian wisdom, until Arab hordes loom. Rashidun caliphs crush Sasanians at Qadisiyah, 636 AD, and Nahavand, 642 AD. Last king Yezdegerd III flees, slain in 651 AD, ending 400 years of empire. Islam spreads slowly. By 900 AD, 40% of Iranians convert. Yet Persian spirit rebels via Shu'ubiyya literature, asserting cultural superiority. Samanids, 819 to 999 AD, revive Persian as the new Persian language. Ferdowsi's Shahnameh, 1010 AD, immortalizes pre-Islamic heroes in 50,000 couplets, preserving Zoroastrian myths. Seljuk Turks arrive in 1037 AD, patronizing Omar Khayyam's Rubaiyat and Nizam al-Mulk's Vizierate, bridging Sunni Caliphate with Persian Renaissance. Genghis Khan's Mongols ravage in 1219 AD, slaughtering millions. Nishapur loses 1.7 million souls, turning fertile plains to ash. Ilkhanids, 1256 to 1335 AD, Persianize under Hulagu, fostering Marco Polo-era splendor. Timur sacks Isfahan in 1387 AD, stacking 70,000 skulls into pyramids. Shah Ismail I seizes the throne in 1501 AD, proclaiming Twelver Shia Islam the state religion of Iran, a radical shift enforced through mass conversions and brutal repression of Sunni rivals, crystallized in his defeat by the Ottoman Sunnis at the Battle of Chaldiran in 1514 AD. Shah Abbas II, 1588 to 1629 AD, later restores Safavid power, relocates the capital to Isfahan, transforms it into a grand imperial showcase with the magnificent Naksh-e-Jahan Square, expands silk trade with Europe, and ushers in a golden age of architecture, painting, tilework, and carpets, before the Afghan Hotaki invasion topples the dynasty in 1722 AD, plunging Iran into fragmentation. Aga Muhammad Khan of the Qajar dynasty reunifies Iran in 1794 AD, but imperial weakness soon invites foreign domination as Russia strips away the Caucasus through the humiliating treaties of Gulistan 1813 and Turkmenchai 1828. Growing resentment fuels reform, erupting in the tobacco protest of 1891–92 and planting the seeds of constitutionalism until Reza Khan's 1921 coup ushers in the Pahlavi dynasty in 1925, modernizing the state by banning veils, constructing the Trans-Iranian Railway by 1938, and renaming Persia, Iran, in 1935. Before an Anglo-Soviet invasion deposes him in 1941 and leaves his son, Mohammad Reza Shah, ruling under Allied supervision. Mohammad Reza Shah's 1963 White Revolution introduces sweeping land reforms and women's rights that uplift peasants yet alienate the Shia clergy, while earlier oil nationalization under Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh in 1951 provokes a CIA-backed coup in 1953 that restores royal authority. As the Shah tightens control through the Savak secret police and stages the opulent 1971 Persepolis celebrations, opposition hardens. Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, exiled in 1964, mobilizes resistance from abroad, and after the Black Friday massacre of 1978, mass protests erupt nationwide, culminating in the Shah's flight and the triumph of the 1979 Islamic Revolution on February 11. On April 1, 1979, a national referendum establishes the Islamic Republic, elevating Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini as supreme leader and ushering in clerical rule marked by compulsory hijab, revolutionary courts, and sweeping purges. The regime is soon tested by the devastating Iran-Iraq War, 1980–1988, which claims roughly 1 million lives amid trench warfare, chemical attacks, tanker battles in the Gulf, and the U.S. downing of Iran Air Flight 655 in 1988. After the war, reformist hopes surface under President Mohammad Khatami, 1997–2005, only to give way to Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's confrontational presidency, 2005–2013, and nuclear defiance. Hassan Rouhani's 2015 JCPOA briefly eases tensions before collapsing after the U.S. withdrawal in 2018. Under Ebrahim Raisi, 2021–2024, protests erupt nationwide after the death of Mahsa Amini in 2022, leaving hundreds dead. And in 2024, reformist Masoud Pezeshkian wins the presidency, navigating sanctions, regional conflict with Israel, and nuclear brinkmanship under Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei into 2026. Iran is facing simultaneous internal unrest and external confrontation, creating a highly volatile situation. The regime is under pressure from mass protests, economic collapse, and escalating nuclear and regional tensions. Currently, it looks like that the world might have a bigger problem in hand if Iran and US are not stopped. We could see World War III.
Like this video if you enjoyed it, follow the channel for more, subscribe to get notifications, comment below.